And now they have an opportunity to break Liquid. Just need to be able to take a single game in this series to eliminate Liquid from DreamLeague. And even fairing that, well, it still comes down to Entity and how they do against their opponents. So it's going to be a rough ride for Liquid, pretty much no matter what. They just have to do their best and hope they somehow sneak in. Meanwhile, Tundra.
30 seconds to battle.
I don't know, how do you feel about them right now?
Best team in the world.
Best team in the world? I mean, you were rocking them as best team in the world kind of leading up to, what, Bali, Riyadh, that sort of area. You feel like the Topson has slid in nicely as everybody would predict it?
I mean, I always say they're the best team in the world. I mean, trying to get a job out here. gotta hype them up while you can.
Trying to get a coaching job or what?
I'll take anything at this point, but
you want to be an assistant
I'll
coach
sweep the floor, you know. AUI, I'll get you some food. I think Tundra always have potential to be one of the best teams in the world, if not the best team. I don't think that's really changed. I just think this year has been, I mean, like, what are you supposed to do when you have health issues and you have to change a player every tournament? You can't really build anything. You can't build stability. Your ideas change. You're constantly adjusting. It's very difficult to play with stand-ins, especially when that keeps rotating. So I wouldn't put too much onus on, you know, how the year has been for this team. I still look at what they could do at TI in a situation with very clutch players who have won it before, and I mean, that's all of them. So this team always has that potential, and they have very intelligent players who can figure out a patch. And that is one thing that could work for them in this game with the Dazzle mid and the Bane. These are two heroes that, I mean, either of them could have been mid on either of these players at any point. And it's either going to go 20-0 or 0-20, you don't know, but it's going to do something. And they're very obnoxious heroes. A lot of spells that you don't really enjoy playing into if you're a hard carry in this game on the gyrocopter. I think that's the position you want to put this first pick carry in. So Liquid opt for a later pick Lycan, bringing the Zoo back to the meta in hopes to shut down the backline here from Tundra and open the fight up for their big damage dealers, which I think is a reasonable way to go about it. I mean, these heroes suck against Lycan. No way around it.
We have some experience with mid-dazzle, don't we?
Oh, yeah, it is. That hero is something else, man. It really is. If you get to the 5 or 6 slots, it's like the new Tinker. It just becomes an unstoppable force of nature. And any universal hero that also can build in like this Octarine Manta build, which is one of the routes you can go with this hero, also just feels incredibly hard to teamfight at a certain point because you have too much HP. You're this squishy mid that at a point gets to 3,000 HP with no cooldowns and Dispel, and you're putting illusions in. You don't even know which one's the real Dazzle. It gets very confusing very fast. We'll see if Topson can get to that point as the trades are happening. Top 9 getting a little bit of an advantage here, which is a decent sign for that Bane, because this is another hero you really want levels on early gank.
Yeah, disruption into a swing of the blade from Nisha. That's not good enough. They totally misread that one. Sure, they get the kill, but Topson stayed alive to get the experience for the Nisha death first, so well worth it.
That's not right.
That's not right.
That's the best part of playing Dazzle, right? It's the voice lines. So.
Yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if Topson just screams Dazzle voice lines the entire game. That's his comms.
Yeah.
In fact, if he does anything else, I'll be disappointed. Meanwhile, Skeeter, very good last pick Terrorblade. I mean, you're getting all the auras reflected here. You're going to out-carry most of Liquid outside of Disruption, turning the power back against you. And of course, Venge is not as bad against the heroes as it used to be with the damage reduction. Still, it does feel like if Tundra get to that late game with all their cores online, I don't know how you're team fighting them. Like, what is Mikke going to do in these later game fights? He's getting max enfeebled, poison touch, hex. There's a grave on a Terrorblade to guarantee a Sunder. The Terrorblade's getting all these auras reflected, pounding the physical into the gyro. He just doesn't have much help either outside of the bow roll. So I feel like Liquid do want to play around the Lycan's timings and get this game rolling in their advantage around that like 20-25 minute mark.
Yeah. Do you feel like they're bringing back the Zoo? We've seen a little bit of Beastmaster. I haven't seen too much Lycan. Do you feel like this is Liquid going, we kind of need to go back to something that was working for us before?
Maybe. I mean, maybe they're trying to return to something that was one of their highest win rates, which was that like Zai, Beastmaster, and Lycan. I think he was close to undefeated on these heroes for certain intervals this year, including some of the qualifiers and Riyadh Masters, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it has been their go-to. It's just these heroes aren't as strong as they used to be, and it doesn't seem like the game pace favors them. I feel like the games are a bit slower unless you just dominate the lanes, and people aren't grouping up as fast to go for these Roshans. if you still play that way and you make the most of it, I think they can still be very effective. And of course, the Lycan's job this game, sure, he's going to buy some auras, provide some AoE help for the team, but more importantly, like, his job is to pressure the Ancient Apparition and the Bane, predominantly. You're also very good versus the Dazzle here, but you take the Bane and the AA out, suddenly the Gyro has a good fight. And that's what matters here, because you have to make the first pick Gyro work to some extent. You can't just throw it on an island and be like, all right, you know, just go flag something. It's not good enough to justify the pick.
His top lane has just been full of action. Both supports dying quite often. 9 playing really aggressively, trying to make sure that there's no pulling going on. Be able to get the lane back. 33 is enjoying the benefit of that one. 27 and 10 top CS on the board, and right behind him is the Terrorblade. Behind that is Thompson's Dazzle. So things seem to be going very well when it comes to the laning phase for Tundra.
Tundra is super happy with this, especially what is happening mid right now. Thompson is dominating Nisha, no way around it. I mean, that gank attempt didn't do Nisha any favors, but this is... What are you supposed to do against this man? There is no counter as a melee hero.
Nope.
This Poison Touch in this particular patch is a crazy strong laning spell, and that's why you see his Dazzle mid. He's a lane dominator. I think we even saw Dazzle... There was the one match where it was the Kiyotaka Dazzle mid versus Abed Lina.
Yeah.
Kiyotaka was straight up bullying the Lina.
Yeah.
Like, that is how strong Poison Touch is right now, if you get it going. Hero has great stats as well. You can spam the branches, early wand, belt to strength, tank up. Yeah, these universal heroes.
Well, so
they are another beast, the future of the game, and Thompson putting it to good use here. Opens up 1,000 gold gap off mid lane in the first 5.5 minutes here. Severe economic damage.
Yeah. Now, it wouldn't be the first time that we saw Liquid hard losing a lane, still managed to back out, but nice pickup there. Insania making the rotation through the gate. Didn't think the poisons were going to be enough, but Insania lending a helping hand is enough. Now, they will be able to get the trade-off here. If they get the Wolves in front of 9, they still might be able to get a 2-for-1. Either way, though, even if they don't get this... Oh, no, the missile! It came all the way from the top lane to help out. 9 still has some brain saps. He actually has Thompson to be able to help out now. Insania... He's going to be taking a lot of damage from that Poison Touch. He will tick out. The Terrorblade and Ancient Apparition cutting in through the side.
Global homing missile. A true ICBM here.
It does leave 33 alone in the top lane. Boxy comes back to this lane to try and punish him. Gets up to 4 stacks. Get a 5th one, and surely... 33.
He's dead if he
Can he juke this another time? Oh, he jukes it another time!
Isn't he just dead?
I think he is. 5th stack lands. There it is. Finally, Boxy's able to finish the kill.
And Boxy's having a great game. A lot of these games, Shadow Demons look pretty damn good. I mean, you always have the stacking potential, but if you get the fast level 2 poison, you get a kill, suddenly your game just starts rolling off of the XP from those kills in the first place. We'll not get the Wisdom Rune here, but is not too sad about it. And you were talking about the damage pop bottom. I mean, he took an early Disseminate point. It's something we're going to see a bit more, because it is just an extra, 20% whatever damage on the poison stack. So if you get 4 or 5 poisons, you disseminate them, you pop it. That disseminate dealt an extra 100 damage to the Terrorblade. That's not insignificant for a level 1 spell when you're looking for kills on a hero that is playing aggressively in the lane. Nonetheless, Thompson still doing Thompson things, top net worth.
They do have level 6 on the Kunkka.
Big TP's top.
Yeah, this is a pretty hefty play. I want to make sure 33 continues to farm. He died once, sure, but can't let it happen again. Boxy's committed his life to try and put more damage onto 33. He knows he's dead.
Double support TP top instantly for 33. They do not want to let this Tide get kicked out of the Gyro lane, especially if they feel like the other 2 lanes are free farming, which for the most part they are. I mean, you've had some cheeky kills from Liquid in this game, but look at the net worth, right? I mean, you have Snaking up there with Nisha. That is very good for one team. Very not good for the other. Depends who you're a fan of here. Nonetheless, this Ancient Apparition is already almost level 6 as well.
Thompson will not leave Nisha alone. Nisha's dead here. He's going to get off the boat. There's the combo. Disruption into boat, but it doesn't even land.
There's your blast.
And they are going to lose this fight hard. They are going to try and get as much damage onto the Dazzle. They do manage to bring him down.
Yeah, Wolves here helping out, and Zai makes the rotation. Should clean up some supports.
Yeah, how many are they going to get?
Oh, big crit.
9. He's got a brain sap, but another big crit. Keep running him down. Meanwhile, the Ancient Apparition is also going to die here. Snake King can't get to the camp in time, so they bring in the Lycan, which you pointed to is the hero that's going to make the biggest difference for Liquid in this game, and it's already proving it. Zai coming in big.
Especially if he crits 3 out of 5. That was
that's
uncalled for, man. Come on. A nice rotation. The Lycan is the powerhouse in this game. Like, that is who I'm looking. It has to be the Zai show. He has to take these fights over and really get the team back in the game, because Kunkka can't do anything. And what are you supposed to do in this draft? You're playing a melee hero against Dazzle mid who's max poison touching you. There's Enfeeble. There's AA throwing vortexes down. You can't heal because you might get hit by an AA blast. Incredibly toxic lineup to play against, honestly, in terms of the kiting potential.
Yeah.
It's one of these lineups where AA really shines, because to me AA, okay, yeah, it's all about the ult, negating the impact of these life-stealing carries in the late game with Satanic, but to me AA is more about Ice Vortex. It's about how you can skirmish with the Ice Vortex getting laid down. There's a reason you max the skill now. It's also your farming spell. You can be way more active on this hero than you used to be in almost any other AA patch, and he's really strong in these fights. So if you can combine Ice Vortex with a bunch of other long-range kiting spells, the hero just becomes incredibly obnoxious to deal with. They have the lineup for it. Defensive Ravage.
He's going to live for this one. The Ice Blast coming in is going to be able to finish off Insania on 33. Damn. Will be able to walk away as Mickey is chased out by the 2 supports.
He's just too beefy, man. 1,500 HP. Too much for this Gyro to cut through. It's another concept we were talking about. People first picking Gyro. These big, meaty strength offlaners generally have done very well versus Hero, because Gyro does not have unlimited damage to pump into you in the early game, and you buy the auras. Like Greaves, Pipe, Crimson are all amazing versus Hero, who splits his damage across all the targets. Coming into play early.
I can't remember the last time I saw Nisha get bullied this badly.
I'm not sure what you're supposed to do in this matchup, though. If you're Nisha's coach, you're Blitz, you go, okay, let's look at this lane. I mean, what's your advice on the lane? Well, you just don't get poison touch.
Yeah, it's nothing you can do. It's pretty much up to supports, right?
Yeah, you have to gank the Dazzle, which they tried.
Yeah.
I actually like that conceptually if you think about it, right? They tried for this rotation, but of course Tundra can just match you if they're thinking about it, which they should, because it's going to be an SD rotating off a lane. Like, it should be very obvious it's happening. And even then, you have to keep ganking him, because it's not a lane that gets better. That's the problem. So even if you commit early resources, Thompson is just going to keep coming back. He's just going to keep poison touching you. You can't commit resources there forever. I mean, you dual lane mid, like the Ogre Sniper days. I mean, you could, but then someone else is losing out, and you're doing it for a Kunkka, who's kind of your utility hero. So honestly, there just wasn't too much of an option. You just have to take it for the team. Nonetheless, that is a 2,500 gold differential on the mids. So it's a question of what Thompson can use it for in this game, as he's just rushing Ags.
Yeah, when I was experimenting with Dazzle in our party queue games,
yeah, that was an experiment.
I copied Thompson's build, and I realized Thompson is very conservative with his item build compared to what I've seen other people go. Like a lot of people like the Midas, right, to be able to just constantly bad juju and make the cooldown go down. It does work, but Thompson's build, very conservative. Gets an Aghanim Scepter, gets a BKB, goes Blink Dagger. Like, he really doesn't stretch for anything too exotic. He just goes for pretty much good, tanky teamfight items.
I mean, I think
plays around the Axe.
The upside of this build is you were saying more conservative, more reliable. We saw, I go back to that Kiyotaka Dazzle game, he went for like the more explosive build. And I think sometimes you get caught in that mid game where you can't get to your 4th item that you might need, your 3.5 to 5.5 territory, where you become invincible and you just get stuck there. In this build, you're way more useful before then, no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're a lot tankier too. This Dazzle's got some HP. So I'm gonna try and clean up. These are cleanups Liquid need desperately.
They desperately need to be able to bring down Thompson here, and probably need to get more off of him. That's what Zai's gonna chase after, going for 9.
Got tumblered.
Got a crit.
Ooh, little Ghost doing some work. I like that. I mean, Zai he's doing his part, right? This is about the most you can hope. Pretty much you want 2 kills out of every engagement this Lycan shows up to, because they are free. There's absolutely nothing to control him here. It's just a war of attrition. And they got the big Dazzle. That's a huge net worth kill off the map before he had that Ags. Early Vlad's pick up for 33 here. I mean, AUI told him there's no Wraith Pack in the game, right? I know it's TI season, but they're not bringing it back, son.
That's definitely a build of like, I want to be able to stay in the lane and stay out on the map. And I'm not going anywhere. It's trying to kick a Tidehunter out that he's able to lifesteal with Anchor Smash.
The thing is, he's not going to build in anything, right? There's nothing you can really build it into on this hero. You're not going to go Helm of the Overlord here, I think. I say that, I mean, it is 33, so maybe he thinks he's playing the Lycan. It's possible. But, I mean, casual Vlad's how good is this game? It's pretty good, right? You have Terrorblade. It's never bad with Terrorblade.
I mean, isn't Terrorblade like the best hero to have a Vlad Zoro on?
Pretty much, yeah.
So that's like the highest base damage, so.
I actually think the Sniper one's pretty good. It's a little underrated, but like Sniper Shadow Fiends, they're pretty good with it too. But Terrorblade's in there. He's probably the best.
Like how Sniper just randomly came out.
I'm telling you, the Sniper with the random lifesteal becomes incredibly hard to just go on. It's a lot of extra EHP for a hero that doesn't deserve extra HP. You know? He's supposed to be.
Avery
squishy.
really likes playing Sniper.
Who doesn't like playing Sniper? It's fun.
Speaking of Helm of the Overlord, Zai is almost done with his. So he's just got to keep ramping up. There really isn't too much room for him to take a breather and be like, okay, I feel like I've done a pretty good amount of work this game. Like, no, you just got to keep doing. You got to keep going.
Who is the Chinese mid player who just played Sniper every game? Oh, I'm blanking on it. Now it's annoying me.
I'll let you think about it. 9-12, 3,000 net worth lead for Tundra. And they are more than happy with a slower game because 33 needs some time to get his Blink Dagger. They know they've got the carry Terrorblade that's going to be able to pull through. And Dazzle is a beast late game, especially when you're not reliant on putting out any damage.
I mean, he's going to do damage this game. Zero does damage. You get the level 10 talent, you start getting the right clicks up. Zero is powerful. You just have to get there.
Yeah, I'm just saying I feel like he shines when he doesn't have to be the one doing damage.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
sure.
It's just like,
I mean,
he's not fills out in the back, get some poison touches on you.
This is an interesting Roche. It's not one Liquid are going to have a good read on. And the Vlad completely enables it here.
Well, they get a read now with the Wolf, but it is far too late for Liquid to make a rotation over. So the best they can do is push down mid, take a tower.
And the thing about this Roche is you're taking away from the Helm of the Overlord Lycan.
Oh, yeah.
This is a timing Liquid really wanted to hit here. I think Nisha's game was just too damn slow. It didn't sync up, and they didn't feel like they can contest it, and maybe didn't think Tundra would go in the pit that fast. So this Helm of the Overlord's going to miss some value. Means you're going to have to keep playing the map, keep farming up on this Axe Gyro, let your Kunkka catch up, and get to your big teamfight items.
In teamfights, who do you target now? Because we're getting to the point that, okay, Thompson can now get levels of Shallow Grave. So if you target somebody other than the Dazzle, probably going to get Shallow Graved. If you target the Dazzle, he's got an Aegis. They're left in a kind of lose-lose scenario for the single target go of like Zai.
The teamfight is definitely coming together for Tundra. They just want to create as much defensive capability as they can so that, like you're saying, you can't pick an easy target. You have Solar Crest on Snaking, the Bane's taking up. And of course you have this Tide. If he plays around the backline and protects it, it's harder for the Lycan to go in. And there isn't much backline jump outside of the Wolf here. You just have to go in as a unit if you're Liquid. You do have a blink on the Shadow Demon, an interesting early rush here by Boxy. Very aggressive. Maybe points towards him wanting to help set up something on the map because they don't have a Spirit hero. They don't really have a jumper. At least you have Blink Shadow Demon. Maybe you can find something, or it's just nice for the fights. You can instantly blink in and disrupt the Terrorblade.
That's what I was thinking.
The more reliable part of it.
I was thinking he just wants TB illusions because they're probably lacking in damage.
Sometimes Aether Lens is enough for that, but I guess he also feels playing versus the Ravage that, you know, you can also blink disrupt post Ravage and it's instant. That's another big component here. So there's some small things this blink could really pay off, as a Grip will find the Lycan of all heroes, and that's the best target for 9 to run into.
Absolutely. That's going to slow down his push to assault Kyros. Liquid have to move to the other side of the map now, and very likely Tundra can get some towers for free.
You know, the crazy part is Liquid are up kills. It really does not feel like they've been killing anything in this game, outside of that very early game where the Wolf got, you know, a couple of those teamfight cleanups. It's felt very slow for them. They're not that far behind. It's just the way the game is progressing. And it's probably just a product of what happened mid. I mean, your tempo creator and the Kunkka, who was supposed to be the guy who can go around and set up the kills, set up the plays, join the fights, I mean, just had no lane.
Yeah, well, if you're watching Liquid, Nisha has the lowest net worth core in the game.
It's probably going to be slow.
You're probably feeling bad about the game. That's for certain.
All right, Tundra definitely not feeling bad right now as they're just mowing down some towers. Don't even need the whole crew to do it. And now Blink Dagger and Anchor up.
Who needs a Terrorblade to hit towers?
Wonder why.
Literally on the other side of the map.
Why do you go for the early Anchor here? Pretty interesting.
Lockdown on the Lycan?
I guess.
I don't know how summons hit the Anchor, how that works.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I feel like it can instantly die. It's not instant, but it's pretty fast. I don't know. We usually don't see it this early because it is. I mean, it is killable. In competitive Dota, you can focus it down pretty fast, and sometimes it just doesn't do anything. Yeah,
usually it feels best against like the Spirit Heroes or something, right?
Sure. I mean, if he does land it on one of these cores, it's probably gonna feel great.
I mean, it does make a lot of sense within his own lineup. When you're already vortexing and poison touch slowing people, and then you added an Anchor on top of that, like these heroes are just going nowhere. Oh, this is a big pick if they can get a nice vantage dodge on the missile, but he's still going to be hit by the boat. Can he get off the Sunder? He will on his own illusion. Doesn't even try and use it on one of the enemy heroes, but he still has lots of poison stacks, and that's enough. The heroes couldn't get there in time on the side of Tundra.
You got Anchor.
Will manage to Anchor stop the TP away of Boxy. Boxy, the other person on Team Liquid who is kind of shining here. It's pretty much him and Zai, while the rest of Tundra just slowly win the game more and more, it feels.
He still had a tremendous game on this Shadow Demon, almost up to Aether Lens. He is incredibly farm for the game state. Making this hero shine, creating space for the Gyrocopter to catch up. I'm surprised Tundra didn't get there faster. I feel like the reaction was like he was just dead, and then, oh wait, he gets Sunder. There's a chance they could have saved him, especially with an instant Dazzle TP. Maybe it wasn't up for Thompson, but that is a factor you always have to consider, like these Graves prolonging the Terrorblade's life. Heal him at the end. Sometimes it might be enough to survive.
Yeah, that is another one. Shallow Grave Thunder. I didn't even think about that combo. Man, this lineup is pretty dirty from Tundra.
Yeah, it is. It's a very dirty, very, very dirty lineup, which I expect nothing less from them.
Thompson. Let's see if he can get away from the swap. Go, 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 Thompson. He's staying ahead of him, and Liquid will not be able to get the catch, so.
He also finished BKB here. And he got Grove Bow. Pretty much the best neutral item on this hero.
Yep.
That item is just way too good right now.
Yes. Now that you have this increased chance to be able to, like, get the item that you want. Oh. Boat pickup here on 9. Nice. Got the Nightmare off. Dodges the boat, but they have to make the run away. Thompson with the big heal. Ice Blast is going to give them a little bit of vision here. Spotting Boxy. They also killed Zai.
On off the backside.
Yeah, looks like he got anchored, and they were... Skeeter just pumped the damage into him. Good enough. They used that Metamorphosis to go for tier 2 now. Swap back, trying to save Nisha's life. Nobody else from Liquid's going to die here, but they will lose their tier 2 tower. And we'll see what else. Skeeter's also going to be able to get a Scotty complete. So he is a very, very happy camper in this game.
Still have #1 network gyro. It's just, what are you able to use it for? 9 setting up on Mickey. He's still getting flak hit.
He's by himself. The Vengeful Spirit's TPing in, but they don't have a swap to save him. So this Fiend's Grip will be final for Mickey.
That was a really nice setup by 9. That whole fight that was happening mid, he just preemptively TP topped and was smoked. And just set it up himself. And automatically was looking for the next play, and he'll get the payoff. Nowhere left to farm on this map as wards will cover bottom, and the push top will sink in the other lane while Terrorblade Illusions deal with the rest of the map. Tundra controlling everything here very nicely, very smoothly, and Thompson going back for Tormentor. Which he can solo kill, apparently. Quite easily, in fact. Oh, with the courier. Oh my god, that is the... That's one of the
You can
dirtiest
heal the couriers? That is dirty.
That's one of the... Have you seen that before?
That is really cool.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that before, either. Who do you think on Tundra? Who do you think?
The stream also, unfortunately, didn't see it.
Yeah, so they basically, they all put their couriers on top of the Tormentor, and you can Shadow Wave them for the damage, and especially with the Aghanim Scepter, that's big damage.
Yeah, so Thompson just soloed the Tormentor by Shadow Waving 3 or 4 couriers on top of it, which means he also gets the AoE heal.
Yep.
So he can soak the damage solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. I mean, whoever came up with that strat deserves a pat on the back.
Wouldn't be surprised if Curtis had a hand in that. Well, at this point, Team Liquid, they're pretty much hemmed inside of their base. They can't go anywhere. Is there, like, late game-wise, is there any hope for Team Liquid? Is there any sort of like, oh, well, guys, let's just push this another 20 minutes?
Well, it's Divine Rapier Gyro.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Realistically, not really, because I think your Lycan is just not panning out here, right? His Dazzle's not going to get weaker. It's very tough. Basically, your way back in the game is to find crazy good angles and backstab the Tundra ball. Take out the supports first. Like, you take out the Bane AA you were talking about in the early game, okay, the fight opens up a lot more. Then any team fight is winnable at that point. But that is the first step. And a head-on engagement, you're just running into them. No, you're not winning that fight. It has to be angles, vision off the wolves, and you need to be able to get the lanes in. Which means backing each other up to push in this map, play around some sort of wards you can control. And the issue is this Aether Lens Bane is just such a menace with the night vision. It's very hard to find him before he finds you and gets a sleep or a grip off, and the team can back him up. That's what's causing them problems on the map right now. Wolves can only do so much. I mean, the amount 9 is setting up on these deep side lanes is crazy value. They are going to potentially run into him here.
Yeah, they had a ward sentry combo up there in lane, so they saw the ward be planted down. They immediately went for the scan, went for the move, trying to catch something here. But this is a hard kill. They rendered to Skeeter. That's not the target.
He's got a full Shivas.
And the Fiend's Grip from the low ground, catching Nisha. A long Ice Blast coming in. That's going to be Nisha going down, and the Purge placed onto the Gyrocopter. Now with the Anchor on top of him as well. He's going absolutely nowhere for a bit. Fortunately, the Anchor wears off, so does the Purge, and he's able to cruise on out. No! Caught by the Ravage on the edge, and now Thompson's hitting him. BKB TP out, but that is not how you... Oh, but he still dies!
The crits, man. You get minus armored up, you're gonna melt real fast. What turned into a casual gank for Liquid turns into 4 dead, and the Lycan didn't even get to use the ult there. Zai will pop it now to get slept.
Wakes himself up, but it's too late for that one. Hit by the Anchor, and he slows down to a crawl.
Well, this game escalated very fast. I feel like it goes back to that mid lane. It just created so much differential. You couldn't create any tempo in this game as Liquid. Your Lycan missed all his timings. The early Roshan with the Vlads on the Tide also helped stop some of that comeback potential. Really good itemization here from Tundra and putting all of it to use. They did not miss a beat this game for sure, understood their draft and how to play it. There's just nothing to cancel his grip either. Just throw all the ults onto Nisha.
You know what's funny is I feel like this game, Thompson only got to play half of Dazzle.
Yeah, he didn't even get to the good part.
Yeah.
And he was destroying.
Have we seen a Shallow Grave save?
Yeah, as it needed it.
Yeah, as it needed it this entire game.
Whew. Damage this hero out. It's not only the damage, it's also the amount he heals. It's way more than you expect from some of the old versions of Dazzle.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Team Liquid just lost the team fight inside their base, and it looks like they may be losing another one here as Mickey is going to try and make his last stand, but up against these heroes, he's doing absolutely no damage. Thompson blinking in deeper, popping the Shallow Grave, BKB on himself to keep the heroes slowed down constantly with these poison touches. He's going to make sure Nisha is going to fall. Mickey slowed down enough that Skeeter's going to be able to catch up to him, and a Fiend's Grip, a final one, put on to Insania of all heroes. That's how hard Tundra won this. They really didn't need some of those ultimates to be able to wipe Liquid off the map. An easy and clear Game 1 victory for Tundra.